Margaret Fay Shaw. After a cycle tour of the Hebrides, Margaret got her wish when she found a place to stay with Mary and Peggy McRae in Glendale on South Uist. Rheumatism in her finger joints had made sustained piano playing impossible, but Margaret felt that she could still serve music by collecting Gaelic song scrupulously at source. I thought, this is where I ought to stay. This is where I want to be if she'll take me. So I said to her, could I come here and stay? Would you take me as a boarder? And she said, yes, if you'll be comfortable here, of course I'll take you. I moved in with Mary McRae and I lived there for 4 winters and 6 summers. The Singing Sisters had a philosophy of life close to the simplicity and sharing of Glenshaw. They were glad to have nice things, but they didn't expect them. They had enough food and they took great pleasure in what they did possess. They had no envy. That was their way of life. They were accustomed to it. What lessons did Margaret learn at Glendale? I learned never to take myself too seriously and that there was always something funny. In the worst of things, you could always make a cup of tea and sit down and talk about it. You put up with death and with childbirth in ways that were natural and good. The people were wonderfully kind. Margaret had a cine camera on South Uist and later on Barra and Canna. The footage is a historical archive of inestimable value, recording a way of life that has all but vanished. I have had the great privilege of looking after it for her at BBC Scotland. Here are Glendale geysers in their Halloween outfits 70 years ago. Here are children bringing home seaweed as fertiliser in creels on the bowed backs. Here are shots of herring girls at Castle Bay when the Barra port was crowded with boats. One of the most treasured films is of Margaret returning to Glendale in 1955, bearing as a gift from the McRae sisters her newly published folk songs and folklore of South Uist, which she had collected and which would not have been possible without the encouragement and knowledge of the sisters.